on? It's Pancho Rucker, author, actor, writer, musician, overall Renaissance man. And you are now watching and you are now watching Candid Corner on Obnox TV, and I'm going to do that again. What's going on? It's Pancho Rucker, the Renaissance man, aka author and writer of Clean Up BB. Nope. What's going on? It's Pancho Rucker, aka best-selling author, and you are now watching Candid Corner on Obnox TV.
Welcome to the show, Pancho. How you been?
I cannot complain. It's been a long travel to get here.
Long journey. Oh wow, where'd you come from then?
Well, no, I'm talking about from the last time, the flat tires.
There you go.
About 2 flat tires getting here, so yeah.
Oh man. So where are you from?
I am born and raised in North St. Louis. Yeah, awesome. North St. Louis, Missouri.
So what was it like growing up on North?
Poor.
Like give us like a scenario of how poor.
Me, my sister, and my mom were jealous of JJ on good times.
Oh.
That's how poor we were. It wasn't that bad. My mom kept me extremely active to keep me away from a lot of the nonsense and different things of that nature. And was in sports a lot, and it was at a peak time where, you know, every day was church day, and I was in 5 choirs, you know, like a city choir, 2 school choirs, an all city choir, and the traveling choir. So yeah, that kept me busy a lot. I managed to find my way into some nonsense, but not as much as I should have.
There you go. That you could have been.
Yeah, that I could have been.
So would you consider yourself popular or unpopular in school?
You know what? Perception is crazy. Like,
that's true.
Me, myself, I seen myself as an outcast. Like, talking to some of these people, like the people that I thought was popular in high school, and talking to them and all of that, they're like, no, you were popular. I'm like,
I was?
Word? Alright.
Tell us, like, what would be, like, your favorite memory?
Probably, like hanging with my sister, which was 8 years younger than me, but, you know, she's, like, my best friend even to this day.
Aww.
Hanging with my friends, growing up and being in the mix of that was always fun.
That's cool. So what would be, like, your funniest memory and your worst memory?
All right, so it's a funny memory, and it really should be a messed up memory. Me and 2 of the homies or whatever, we were like 15. We were about to go to the corner store and play a game of Hey Mister. Hey Mister is, hey, we're too young to go drink. Can you buy this for us?
Uh-oh.
So this guy just appears out of thin air and was like, hey, where y'all going? We going to the store. You look like you need something to drink.
Mm-mm.
How about we buy you something to drink and you buy us a 5th of a carton?
Bargaining.
Right. He says, oh no, brother, you ain't gotta buy me nothing. Let's go. So we go to the store, he buys the liquor, comes back. I said, oh, well, good look. You want something to drink? He was like, yeah, I'll take it. So, you know, I was finna bust the can, the 5th open. And he was like, y'all don't bless the bottle? Bless the bottle, all right. So he flips the bottle over and pats the bottle. And it makes such like this hollow noise. Like, you know, you hit the bottle and then it makes, you know. He opens it up, pours some in the cap, and takes a shot.
What?
And then goes down the alley again.
So he blessed the bottle and then ran off.
He didn't run away, you know what I'm saying? Like, he gave us our bottle back.
Wow.
But he disappeared in mystical drunk crackhead air. Like, it was crazy. So he disappeared. We didn't think of it, but That was the drunkest I've ever got in my life. So thank you, Mystical Boom, wherever you are. Because from now on, I smack the bottom of the bottle like that.
He taught you something.
Yeah, he taught me a lot.
He taught you a lesson, then disappeared.
Yeah, right. The worst thing, I mean, growing up in North St. Louis, you do see a lot. A homeboy of mine, I was supposed to ride in the car with. I was like, yo, he called me like, yo, you trying to ride and do some run some errands or whatever. And I was like, nah, well, I can't today. I got beats to make. He was like, yeah, you go ahead and you go do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'll holler at you tomorrow. Tomorrow came and he found out that he was in the hospital because he got shot in the face. But he got shot from the passenger side, which I would have been there and probably got a shot in the head.
Wow.
So yeah, things like that happened all the time to me.
Wow. So what inspired you to get into, I know these are 3 different subjects.
Yeah, I got you.
You could just relate on each one. What inspired you to get into music, comedy, and literature?
Music. My mom made me do it. My goal was to make it to the NFL.
Wow.
Screw the NFL now. That doesn't make sense. I wound up tearing both ligaments, and all my ligaments and tendons in both knees. So I couldn't do that anymore. But before that, when I was a kid, she made me do piano, strings, band. I wasn't that good as far as in band, but strings, piano, choir, all those things, I excelled at, even though I did not like it. And if it was not for her pushing me into the arts, I don't know what type of person I would be, because while my friends were doing other things, I was engaged in Bach and Beethoven and Shakespeare and talking about iambic pentameter and all of those different things, and they were like, man, we don't want to hear that, man. Comedy, I don't know. I'm like, as far as like writing scripts and cartoons and all of those things, I guess it still came from my love of writing and me being a jerk and identifying with like South Park and Beavis and Butthead and Daria, especially South Park. Yeah, it has satire, but it has an extreme amount of social commentary. Yeah. Literature. And with writing, what really got into me, it got me into it recently is I wanted to write motivational quote books. Mm-hmm. So I did that with Note to Self and Note to Self 2 for people, they could put in their pocket and, read, laugh. And, my daughter came and she, I wanted to be very hands-on with her learning. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to numbers, counting, alphabet, so on and so forth, I wanted her to get all of that as she can in an environment that's comfortable to her. So I made her and put her in a book. Wow. And that's where Clean Up BB came from, as far as Clean Up BB, See That BB, and the whole series.
So like, how did your daughter react, like seeing herself in the book?
She likes it. Like, she doesn't see her, she sees BB.
Wow.
I'm like, who was that? Like a BB, or who was that? Like I put our dog in there too, because they're always in the house messing up stuff together. So she truly enjoys the whole thing, and it's dope to see her even develop and know the next page, what this is, and you can see certain words that she's saying that's in the book and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's dope.
So with like all the advancement of technology these days, and like kids being so warped into that world, video games, apps, all this stuff, what do you see like the future of children's literature, and how do you think we can keep them engaged in literature?
I'm hoping that we can still take a grasp of things that's not as digital. you can open a book, read it, touch it, you know, those actions that come with book reading. However, realistically and understanding the trends of everything is going to be digital.
Yeah.
So,
They already have like, you know, Kindle ebook.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily think that that's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I definitely would rather kids still have books. Yeah. The tangible things. Now, with literature, I was talking to a teacher recently, a couple months back, and he commended me, and I didn't understand why until he got into the conversation. He basically comes to the point of, he's like, you're trying to do something that is extremely hard to do in this generation. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you're trying to get people to read in a generation that does not read. And so I'm like, yo, you know, that makes sense, because like I posted something recently, right? And it was just dealing with battle rap or whatever. And it was only a paragraph. We wrote paragraphs in school all the time.
Right, too much.
And right. Some of the people on there was like, oh, well, this is too long. What do you mean it's too long? It's literally a paragraph. Well, nobody wants to read all of that. Like, wow. Technology has made it so much to a point to where people have this microwaved way of thinking. Yeah. So everything has to have instant gratification. And that itself is extremely dangerous. I hope, and my goal is, you know, to push things further, as far as, especially with my daughter, because I'm writing these books for my daughter primarily, and then it spreads out. So I hope that literature makes it becomes cool again. Yeah. I really hope it does become cool again to pick up a book and read, whether it's on a tablet or whatever. I don't care, as long as you're taking in something that definitely puts you into, it makes you a more rounded person. Yeah. Awesome. Well-rounded person, but yeah.
So what would be your advice to aspiring authors?
Do it. Just do it. I mean, there's no right or wrong thing. I start off not knowing anything. I can't draw to save my life, but I illustrated all three of my children's books that I've done. I never expected for myself that I would make bestseller list on anything. I really didn't care about that. I just wanted to be like, I said I was going to do this, and I did it. And you know, as long as it's genuine and love is put in there, nobody can say anything about what you're doing.
Well, now it is actually time for our Candid 5. So Candid 5 is basically, it's a real simple game. It's not too deep. Basically, I give you scenarios. So it's going to be like a what if scenario, but then a scenario, and then you have to tell me whether you would agree or disagree and why. Okay. What if you can read people's thoughts, but you fart continuously for as long as you do it? Would you agree or disagree?
Agree. You just have to smell the stank. I mean, I'm reading those thoughts.
These questions are outrageous.
I'm reading those thoughts.
Okay.
Because it doesn't necessarily have to be loud either. So.
What if you learned 3 new languages fluently, but you forget your native language? What would you say? Yes or no?
That's weird. I mean, I guess I would do it because, I mean, I write children's books, so I can relearn my language too later. There you go. So, yeah, but 3 fluently, yeah, and I can teach my daughter and everybody else. Yeah, I definitely would do that.
What if you never needed to sleep, but you died 20 years prematurely? What would you say, yes or no?
I don't sleep now, so like never needing to. Man, but 20 years premature though. Yeah, no.
You can get more done.
Yeah, but give me that sleep though.
Yeah, go ahead and give me that sleep.
Because I need to be there for weddings and grandkids and grandkids. So yeah.
What if you can never catch a cold, but you may never have matching shoes? You will agree and disagree yourself.
Speaking of, I'm a shoe person, like sneakers and stuff, but I don't know, that cold thing, man. Like a summer cold is the worst. So. Yeah, no, mismatched shoes, that's fine, because they still could match the outfit. So yeah, let's do the snow cold thing that you're talking about.
What if you could take anything without being caught for it, but every time you took something, someone innocent was accused and convicted for it?
I wouldn't do it.
What would you say?
Yeah, not at all. Especially if somebody else falls on the sword for my actions. Nah, that's
not gonna happen. Moral person. Oh God, well thank you so much, Pancho. Today was awesome. It was a fun interview. If anyone needs to contact you or just follow you for your projects, where can they find you on social media?
Okay. First, I want to say thank you, Fresh Prince by Brittany, for making this shirt for me. So thank you. Thank you so much. She helps me out with a lot of stuff, and we're going to be doing a lot of merchandising real soon.
Awesome.
You can contact me. First, go to the website, get the books, Clean Up BB, See That BB, and Chin Up Chest Out at www.bbooks.com. That's BEEBEEBOOKS.com. I'm on all social medias at Pancho Rucker. So that's PANCHORUCKER. And on YouTube, Pancho Rucker 314. I'm there all the time. Yeah.
All right. All the time.
All the time. I don't sleep, so yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Pancho. That is awesome. You can wave or whatever you want to say.
Buy my books.